in the hours that, so we've got now campaigns. So Unite now, we're spread across the country, still hard work of course, but what we're now doing is that we always run campaigns, because that's what we're going to do to change. We can't run, our union's built on quick sectors. The turnover is very high. But what is good is that they turn up in other unions. A lot of our members in the town, they turn up in other unions and they do take leadership roles. So that's good, sort of good for them, not that great for us, I must say. But it still means it's still building the left, which is good in union movement. So in terms of, as we go, it's very hard for me to, see, I see our union more as a movement. I don't buy this as a union and there's other work over here. No, it's all the same. It's a community union. So in terms of our decision, and we do a lot of political work with CFP. We're politically independent. We're not affiliated to the Labour Party, of course, and we'll always continue to be operate independently. And we, in terms of this by-election, which I just briefly touch on, is that it's like next year we've got World Cup coming up. We've got minimum wage. We had $15 an hour was our. So when we got the $12, of course, we want to go to 15. People go, oh, you get 15. Why don't you go for 20? Yeah, that's next. Oh, what about $100? Yes, that's right. And so that's exactly right. But $15, we did our referendum. It was hard work, and we always tried. We always bite off far more than we ever can chew. That's the truth of it. We always do. But forward. That's the thing. And we got nearly about 190 something thousand, say 200,000 signatures on our referendum. A database of close to 80,000 sort of people. That was kind of people supporting the $15 an hour. So we've made it as claim on employees. We've got the World Cup coming up. And I've met with all the top bosses in the World Cup and organisers and said $15 or he's going to be trouble. Roll around the cup. The cup is not the hobbits, can't move those hobbits. Can't move that Rugby World Cup, it's just sitting there. Come to mama. And I want some money. Because if the employing class who are overseas own all the hotel chains in this country, and they're going to charge $2,000 a rooms in some instances, when they're $250 a room at the moment, and don't think that we have a responsibility to have workers share, they've got another thing coming. And so what I've said to all the bosses, I've met with them all, and I've said, so we've lined up all our agreements to be together, the whole lot. Every agreement in Unite is expiring at the same time. They didn't see it coming. They now got it. They know what we've been up to for a year or two. They're lining up the thing. And so what we've got now is we've got next year, told them all the good news of how they're going to share their profits with the workers, and $15, and they're going to have to put 10% of their profits in to share that amongst the workers. No one gross off the top. So they kind of hit with a heart attack and say, no, I'll do it, because they're internationally owned. And it is actually a crime that the taxpayer, the workers, funding the World Cup, while all these overseas companies, it's more, it's very stark. They're going to profiteer at $2,000 a room and send it offshore. I said, not a chance. I said, so I've told them the good news that we'll be striking an hour before every World Cup game and an hour afterwards. So you still watch the game, but no one's going to make any money during that time. And I'm going to have the international press here. Whoa, workers' paradise. Let's go. So we formed some Utu squads, put things right, and we will be engaging with the employers. So we're going to put out a call post this by-election that any workplace which wants to join this campaign for $15 an hour. We've got a standard sort of template agreement, and it's got one big national award. Everyone who's not in the union, you're psyched and vote to join this award. It's $15 an hour and all the conditions, and we're going for it. And we're going to mobilise every non-union site, and those unions want to come in on the great adventure. Because I think this will give workers a confidence, and they want to be part of something big, and I think it can change the political confidence of working class people in this country. I think it can do that. And that what we have to do is mobilise the people in a way where they feel their own power. And that's what we're going to do. Which leads into the by-election. The by-election, you know, it's all about, you know, God, who wants to pretend they're a local imam for 4 weeks? It was an important political thing. We sort of went through it, discussed as you know. Here's the thing, and it's about the economic thing. This country's in the shit. You know, it's a first world country. It's going into the third world, and Labour and National have got the same economic position. And is that the next people have got in the room? So what we've got to do is that we've got to change the debate that Labour now is 25 or 20 to 25 points behind Nash, sort of National. I think they're scared. I think they're timid, and they need a bit of backbone, they need a bit of stick actually. You know, when we were at the Alliance, we kept them on the straight and narrow to some extent. You know, once we sort of disappeared off the map, they then kind of go back to where the instincts are. Let's be scared, let's be frightened, let's not rock the boat, you know? And let's pretend to work as we're different. Well, the only thing which comes out of this campaign, I listen to it, the only key thing which comes out is people say, the only thing I've heard Chris say which is different is we're going to take GST off food and vegetables. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, you know? I mean, one, they don't even budget for it. It's a gimmick. You can see, I know where this comes from those who know our good friend old John McCarten. It comes out of his head, you know, it's just a gimmick, you know. And why not milk? Why not bread? You know, rates. So it's a bad tax, it's a regressive tax, it takes tax off the workers and gives to the rich. That's what it is. What we've actually had is a theft, and I was interested in Kororo, is that we've got a theft of, and I can tell you, you know this of course, is that what we've seen since Rogernomics is a transfer of over 10% of the GDP from wages and salaries to profits. It's just been a complete transfer of wealth, and it's been done through taxes. It's been done through taxes and the lowering of wages and more money to the shareholding class. And it's been under both governments, and none of them admits it. And they keep going on, and unless we move Labour off it, what is the point? What's the point? So they need a bit of stick, and they're going to get it. And the thing is that the taxation, it's not just GST, but of course what Labour says, we'll keep it at 15% and keep those tax cuts in, you know, but we'll take it off food and veggies. You know, that's the answer. It's a bloody disgrace. But they can't do anything else because they've already did. You know, the same arguments that National puts up the race from 12.5 to 15, Gough was saying to take it to 10 to 12.5. That's what he did. I heard him. I remember. He was the Associate Minister of Finance to Roger Douglas. I remember. And we do here. That's why we formed the Alliance. So, they're not going to come off it unless we can build a movement to change it. They're not going to come off it unless you might have to get in the mood or something. So I think that that's important because it's not just about GST, and even that in October, you know, that 42% of the tax cuts went to the top 10% of wage earners or income earners. 10% got 42% of the cut. The 20% at the bottom, which is the people, you know, we aspire to represent and need to be fought with alongside, that 20%, the bottom 20% of income earners got 2% of their tax cut. You know? And Labour and National, it's the same. It's the same. See, so any self-respecting left-winger has to fight this. Line in the sand, we've got to go to Mana. Got to go to Mana and raise these issues. And, you know, and so, well, because you see, it's not just GST, as you know. That what we do is we tax income off the poor and have levies on the poor, and we have taxes off the rich and taxes off wealth. It's all been transferred on flat taxes. ACC went up at the same time. Never mentioned. ACC went up. So you know that the loans, the education loans, are just an education tax. It's an education tax on working class kids who have to take out loans to go to university, to acquire the skills to actually income. You know, and they will have those debts for the rest of their life. And it's just an education tax. 10% after 19 grand. That's just a tax. So whack that on top. And if anyone doesn't know that KiwiSaver is just a superannuation tax. 2 hucksters actually, no guarantees. People put their money in and could lose it all. And you even get a decent wage, you've got to put 8% of your money in. So you put 8% and your AC levy and your education tax and tax, your PAYE and your GST. The poorest people are paying between 50 and 70% tax. That's actually what they're paying, you know. And these parties, Labour and National, are ducking, you know, and they're just pushing it. It has to be forward. So that's why we did the by-election. We're raising it. $15 sort of income. It's about incomes. Raising incomes. The market will never deliver living incomes to the working people of this country. They will never. The market is a rort. It's actually just to actually make the wealthy wealthier and steal from the poor. So it has to be legislated for. No boss in their right mind gives money away that they think they have to give to the shareholding class. They do it. That's how capitalism works. And it's just a nonsense about these all high-paid jobs, these high-skilled jobs going to fall out of the economic sky. What's that about? It's just lies. Lies, 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 lies. So what we're going to do is legislate, and because it's about the dignity of work, that people can actually live in a decent life. We used to do that. We understood it. The whole point of work is to earn enough income so that you could actually live a life of dignity. And we've got to start with a minimum wage. My view is I'm going to use the World Cup, or we're going to use the World Cup as a way to build essentially a national award. Well, okay, we're going to do it. So vote for your site to join the national award. That's basically it. We're going to have a scrap. We're going to have a real big scrap right where it hurts them with their World Cup. We're going to piss on it if we have to. I don't care. I don't care. It's a corporate funding, taxpayer, subsidised, game, and they can't move it. So I'm going to hurt them if I can to get it off. However, the wages. So we've got to do that. See, Phil Goff, I notice that made me smile, is that Goff had to be asked 5 times to sign the $15 an hour petition. 5 times. And his answer each time was, I can't sign it because I've got to be seen as neutral.
Neutral, all right.
No, I mean, this is the leader of the Labour Party. I must be neutral about the workers, about their incomes. That's right, isn't it?
Even St. Peter only denied Jesus.
That's it. Even St. Peter only denied thrice. Got 5 times. So the thing about jobs, and I tell people I'll be as quick